Algebra 1, Chapter 2, Section 7. We are talking about percents of change. Of course, we know what we're going to be doing with our lesson menu here. And then we come over here in our 5-minute check. So starting with, are these equivalent ratios? 17/34 and 3/12. We would reduce down. 3 divides by 3 once and into 12 4 times, so we get 1/4. 17 goes into 17 once and into 34 twice, so these are not equivalent ratios. And then we want to solve this, so we have 7/8 equal to 35 over x, so we cross multiply and we get 7x equals 35 times 8, so that's 280, divided by 7, we get x equals 40. Keep it going here. 6/10 over b is equal to 12 over 30. Again, cross multiply, so we get 12b equals 30 times 0.6, get 18, divided by 12. We get 1.5. So 11/4 equals z over 5. Cross multiply, so we get 4z is equal to 55 divided by 4 on both sides. So we get a z of 13.75, which is the same thing as 13 3/4. Next up, a bottling machine can fill 210 bottles every 5 minutes. So bottles over 5 minutes. How many bottles can it fill in 1 hour? So now I can go ahead and set up my other set of information. So it's 1 hour. And we want to know how many bottles. But the thing there is, we don't want to know, we can't really do the hour because the other's in minutes. So we have to first change this so it's 60 minutes. Now we have the correct units, bottles to bottles, and minutes to minutes. So now we are going to cross multiply, and we get 5x equals 210 times 60. So we get 12,600. Solve for x, divide by 5. So in 1 hour, or 60 minutes, we can get 2,520 bottles. This is a 5-minute check still, so the table shows the prices of three different sizes of detergent. Which size has the lowest price per ounce? So they told us right there, lowest price per ounce. Okay, price per ounce. So price per ounce, I have to do that for each one. It's going to be 458 divided by 21. It's going to be 1028 divided by 54. It's going to be 1929 divided by 96. And that's simply calculator work. 458 divided by 21. This will be 22 cents. 1028 divided by 54. This will be 19 cents. 1929 divided by 96. This will be 20 cents. So what did it ask again? Which size has the lowest price per ounce? So that is going to be our 19 cents, so $10.20 for 54 ounces, or a 54-ounce size. So B. Then we can go on to our content standards. So we definitely have use units as a way to understand problems, solve linear equations and inequalities, look for and express regularity in repeating reasoning. Looking Find the percent of change, solve problems involving percent of change, develop the concept of slope as a rate of change, which you actually already developed in 7th grade, but we'll just get into it more. What we have done is we have solved proportions before, and now we are going to find the percent of change and solve problems involving percent of change. First, what are those? So a percent of change is just the ratio of the change in the original expressed as a percent. The percent of increase is when the change is larger than the original. Percent of decrease is when the change in the original is less than. New vocabulary, which is what I just talked about. And now an example. Determine whether the percent of change is a percent of increase or percent of decrease. Then find the percent of change. Okay. So here, our original is 32, our new is 40. I hope you realize that that's an increase. So it's a percent of increase. And now we want to find percent. So there are more than one way of doing this. The one way is what we've done before. We have taken the change, we found how much the change is, we took the biggest number, 40, minus the smaller number, and we put it over the original. And when you do that, you get 0.2. Now, you guys remember that if you want to change that to a percent, move your decimal 2 places, and you get 20%. You can also do it as a proportion. So what you would do is you would take your change, which was 8, 40 minus 32 is 8. So that's what we have here. Over your original, so 8 over 32 is equal to what you want to look for, your percent of change, over 100. Okay? Cross multiply, and you get your answer. They got, so hold on. Oops, sorry, over here. This should be 5, so when you move your decimal, so now we have 25%. Okay, there's our answer. Here's another one. Determine whether the percent of change is a percent of increase or a percent of decrease. 20 to 4, so that's going to be a decrease. So we would write decrease there. And then you can either, again, use the proportion, or you can do what we've done in the past. Just take the bigger number minus the smaller number and put it over the original. So you get 16 over 20, and 16 divided by 20 is 0.8. Move your decimal 2 places, and you get 80%. It's up to you on which one you want to use. Just know that you can set it up as proportion with the change over the original equal to x over 100, because x in that position will give you the percent of change. We determine whether the percent of change is an increase or decrease. So original is 20, new is 18, so this is a decrease. So percent of decrease will be complete there. 20 minus 18 over 20. So that's 2 over 20, or 1/10, or 10%. You, of course, can do 2 over 20 is equal to x over 100, cross multiply, and you'll still get 10%. So a decrease of 10%. Next up, determine whether it's the percent of change is an increase or decrease, and find the percent of change. So original is 12, new is 48. This is an increase. We can take 48 minus 12, put it over the original, and we will get 36 over 12, which is 3. Move your decimal 2 places, and you get a 300% increase. You could have also done 36 over 12 equal to x over 100, cross multiply, and still gotten 300%. Sales. The price of a used bookstore pays to buy a book is $5. The store sells the book for 28% above the price that it pays for the book. What is the selling price of the book? So I know I need to write down the 5. I know I need to know that it's adding 28% to it, so it's 1.28%. So let S equal the selling price of the book. Since 28% is the percent of the increase, the amount the used bookstore pays to buy a book is less than the selling price. Therefore, S minus 5 represents the amount of change. And you can see you put it over the original of 5 equals the 28 over the 100, since that's our percent of change. And now we did our cross multiplications. We have S minus 5 times 100 equals 5 times 28. And we take that down and out and get our answer. You can also, as another way of doing it, an algebraic way, you can say that since they did a 1.2 or 28% markup, that is your decimal of 100 plus that 28 thousandths. And how you would find that percent is you multiply times 5. You still come up with that $6.40. It's just another way of looking at it. Since it was a 28% increase, it's 100% plus the 28. So 128%, which has a decimal, is 1.28. You multiply that times the original, and you get what you're going to be selling it as. At one store, the price of a pair of jeans is $26. At another store, the same pair of jeans has a price that is 22% higher. So if you were setting it up their way, it would be S minus 26 over, and you can always go back and look and see how they had set it up, over that 26, the original, is equal to what our increase is. So in this case, our increase is 22% over 100. You cross multiply and solve. You should come out with the exact same answer if you do it the way I have right there. We take the original amount, 26, we multiply it times the percent increase. So either 100% plus the 22 because it's higher. If it had been a decrease, we would have subtracted it, and we would have done 78% if we had to have made it lower. This is 122% or 1.22. So in your calculator, you put 26 times 1.22, and we should get a new sale price of $31.72. Should be B. Sales tax. A meal for 2 at a restaurant costs $32.75. If the sales tax is 5%, what is the total price of the meal? So that means we have to find the tax, and we have to add it in to the price. Anytime you find percent, you're multiplying times the decimal, just like I was showing you with our increases in pricing there. So that's what they did. They found that the tax was $1.64. We'll round it to that. So you would add that into $32.75, and you'll get your total of $34.39 is how much you owe. So a portable CD player costs $69.99. If the sales tax is 6.75%, what is the total price of the CD player? So again, you take your total price, and you need to add to it that percent. So you can set it up as $6.99 times the tax. I just left it as a percent for the moment. I went ahead and put it the original in here because if you notice when we go back, we took the original and we added to it that tax that we had found when we took the original times the percent. So I just went ahead and I set it up that way. It'd be really good if you started to learn to write it that way. It'll be just a lot easier for your word problems as you go along your real world problems. So when we finish this, so $69.99 plus $69.99 times 0.0675, and I can do the math here. 69.99 times 0.0675, we get, I haven't used this yet, $4.72 rounded off to the nearest penny, and I add that to the $69.99, and I get $74 and 70, it should have been 71, not 72. I rounded wrong. There we go, dollars. I would go with 74.71, which is that D. Awesome. A dog toy. So discounts. A dog toy is on sale for 20% off the original price. If the original price of the toy is $3.80, what is the discounted price? So we find the discount. So again, the percent times the original. So we're going to discount it by 76 cents. And then we subtract it from the original. We come up with an answer of $3.04. So if we were to try this, a baseball cap is on sale for 15% off the original. So 15% off the original. So the original is $19.99. And you should know that since we're discounting, we're automatically subtracting. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in front. Bring it down. And I find that 15% can be written as 1,500. And then I can take that. 1999 times 0.15. So I have 1999 minus, it's 2.9985. So I'm going to round that, which will round that to 3. So 1999 minus $3. So that we get $16.99 for our baseball cap. There we go.